Thank you guys so much for clicking on the video and stopping on in, as today we continue on from where we left off with Power Windows. We're moving on to the next track here, which is going to be Middletown Dreams. Can I tell you something, and perhaps you'll laugh at me, and honestly, that's completely okay. I don't mind if you laugh at me one bit, especially because I usually can't hear you. I don't remember who said it, and actually several of you had mentioned this. I didn't realize that every song on the album has something to do with power and looking into different windows of power. Like, I didn't realize that there was a thematic connection between everything until you guys started mentioning it. I I feel like now looking back, it's so obvious looking at the lyrics and such, like, but yeah, I had no idea. And I was laughing at myself when I read the comments of people mentioning that. I was like, oh, now that you say that in retrospect, it does make sense. Anyways, with that in mind, let's go ahead and listen to the next track here, Middletown Dreams. Here we go. That's right into it, isn't it? Hi-hat skips.
The office door closed early. A hidden bottle came out. The salesman turned to close the blinds. A little slow now, a little step.
What a chorus. What a song.
The middle-aged Madonna calls her neighbor on the phone. Day by day the seasons pass. Leave her life alone. But she'll go walking out that door some bright afternoon to go and paint big cities from the lonely attic room.
I was strong out.
Across the heartland, feeding on the fires. Dreams transport desires, driving when you're down. Dreams transport the ones who need to get out of town. Out of town.
Oh, heard the bass pedal used there. I really like that line. Great, great line. God, Getty, slow down. You know, before I say anything, I'm going to say something. I'm pulling up something here really quick. Just want to make sure I put credit where credit is due. Middletown Dreams. Some of you had said that this is a favorite. Jacques Jr. Viens, Carl Gibbons, Saturnine Bear, Mighty V, Ludlow Stills, Rod McLeodable, Jaybird, Marco Latvinen, Echoes to Bear, Ken Mack 2 years ago, Sean the other one, not that one, the other one, Patrick Gilligan. Okay, this was a perfect track from the band. This is, if anyone has skipped out on this era of Rush for whatever reasons, for whatever is holding you back, this is a song that you got to show them. You know what this is? This is too much of a good thing. I'm thinking about the song, and it's too much of a good thing. It feels like your cup runneth over with whatever you want to fill it in that makes you happy. Could be water, could be lemonade, could be ale. But whatever it is, there's too much of a good thing in this track. The chorus is so big, and they make their instruments sing in such a vibrant and expressive way. I love how Getty uses the bass pedals at certain points in the chorus to lift it up and kind of provide that ground shaking beneath your feet feeling. And Getty's bass playing just obviously, but it is just groovy. It is just funky. The creativity in Peart's drumming is endless. From the verse when he's skittering on the pattern on the hi-hats to some of the fills he does later on to the chorus and how he moves in there with so much excitement and fun is incredible. Lifeson's guitar is big and expressive as well, and I love how we get a couple moments where he just screams in like a seagull aiming for a french fry. He just dive bombs in here, and like that to me, in my first impression, that's me trying to capture everything about this track in a very condensed, boil it down to the barest elements kind of way. But that doesn't cover anything. This is a track that I feel, and I'm not trying to be or I'm not trying to overdo this chicken, so to speak. The chicken is cooked. But I think that this is one of their best songs. I think that it's at least in the running off of first listen. Gotta have some reservation. Off of first listen, I could probably easily put this in top 20. I mean, Rush has a lot of good material, so that's why I gotta, off of first listen, limit it to 20. But I think that this is in the running. Can we pull it back here? Let's go through this a little bit. The opening. Great drumming, very reminiscent of, I almost said Patrick Stewart, Stuart Copeland. And we've mentioned that before. I've mentioned the Police here throughout the album, but I think that opening is sensational. The snappiness. You heard how Getty slapped it? He kind of flicked his wrist, his vocal wrist. He flicked it in there with just the opening inflection there on his voice. And I love how Alex provides that kind of sleek guitar line behind it. Ba, 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 ba. It's just a cool melody. Drums seemingly simple, but it's the way he moves there. Flashes of guitar there and that brilliance. I want to see if I can hit that chorus though. That is beautiful, man. It's just There's a certain majesty that I think that they build in here that is just gloriously melodic. And I love how Alex finishes up there. I went way too far. I went to the back of the chorus. I need to get to the front of it. Here. Loose, crystalline kind of notes here that are very tangible and ethereal. And I like how right there, like the entrance softens things up in a really beautiful, radiant way. Alex gets a little bit of a little rip in there, and then Geddy comes back in to kind of cool things off. It's like a volcano that's erupting. The lava's coming down. It's hot. It's steamy. But then immediately, like, there's a downpour, and it just cools it off, and there's just this steam. There's just, I don't know, there's just something about it. I love how big and powerful the chorus is. It's very dense. And the way that Neil's drumming right there, like, he's kind of keeping the pattern the same way that he did in the very beginning of the track. But later on, as we get further into the choruses, the subsequent ones, he changes that pattern and he begins to put in some more tom fills. And, you know, there's just an endless amount of creativity in his drumming. And I think that this is a perfect song from the band. And when he gets to the middle, I mean, the ending here. See the way he flicks his voice? Flicks it, man. And then we end slapping it. Like I said, this is a track that's, it's too much of a good thing. it's too good. And this is a song that I feel, and this is like me kind of breaking the fourth wall, I guess, between like, I'm a guy sitting here listening to music and doing reaction video. Okay, cool. But like breaking that fourth wall into just me, like just listening to the music. Like there's nothing I could say and nothing I've said in this video can express how good this song is. I'm not verbose enough to tell you exactly just why this is so good. But I can tell you, listen to it, find out for yourself. That's the best way I could put that. The office door closed early. The hidden bottle came out. The salesman turned to close the blinds. A little slow now, a little stout. Like I said, whatever you're filling your cup with, it's a lot of good. But he's heading down those tracks, and any day now for sure. Another day as drab as today is more than a man can endure. And I love this chorus, man. Dreams flow across the heartland, feeding on the fires. Dreams transport desires, drive you when you're down. Dreams transport the ones who need to get out of town. This chorus, I mean, Rush, for those that know Rush, obviously the lyricism, especially from Neil, is great. For those that don't know Rush, and perhaps, you know, think of their most popular songs, whether that's Tom Sawyer or Limelight or whatever it might be, I feel like they would be surprised just the depth of writing lyrically that the band has down. And obviously primarily from Pierrot here. I love the idea that dreams are what can transport you. Dreams are what can move you. Dreams are what can inspire you when you're down. And yes, that seems like a very obvious statement, but I also feel like the way that they write it comes across as simple yet profound. And I like how we get different stories here, these different windows. You know, the office closed early, the bottle came out. He's thinking about heading down to those tracks. He's feeling very, very, for lack of a better word, down. And that's a weak word to use for what he's feeling. He's just feeling it's just another day and he's just wanting to get away. Perhaps he's lost his dreams and he feels like there's no escape. That's why dreams can transport you. The boy walks with his best friend through the fields of early May. They walk a while in silence, one close, one far away. But he be climbing on that bus, just him and his guitar, to blaze across the heavens like a brilliant shooting star. There's that dream, that youthful dream. Two kids walking in parallel. The middle-aged Madonna calls her neighbor on the phone. Day by day the seasons pass and leave her life alone. But she'll go walking out that door on some bright afternoon to go and paint big cities from a lonely attic room. I feel like there's so much meaning to it, and it may be a lack of understanding from me, but this is how I interpret that. Middle-aged Madonna, she has her, for lack of a better word, day to day. She talks to her neighbors, she, goes about her life, but she lives her life as well. Her life is not stagnant or still. She is moving. She's going to go paint big cities from a lonely attic room. She's going to go live her life. Or it could also be the inspiration. Maybe she's literally a painter and she's going to go find that inspiration, follow that dream. It's understood by every single person who'd be elsewhere if they could. So far, so good, and life's not unpleasant in their little neighborhood. They dream in Middletown. They dream in the suburb. They dream in this particular territory. Everyone has a dream. Everyone has a place they'd rather be. How can you get there? Maybe not in a big way, but in small ways. Having that dream is so important. And I think that the way that they've written this is really glorious too. It's really honorable to kind of look at these different people and these different, living these different lives in different perspectives and scenarios, but each of them having a dream, something they want, and working perhaps to go and get it. Incredible song and deeply powerful. And I can absolutely understand why this track would be a lot of your favorites. Because I think, I'm saying off the first listen, it could be top 20. Let me know what you guys thought, of course, and naturally down below in the comments section. I appreciate you being here. The Buy Me a Coffee is there. If you'd like to sponsor a song request, the Patreon for exclusive content that's going, and the YouTube over here, obviously, where you're at. Just sticking around. As always, I appreciate you. I hope that you have a fantastic rest of your day, and I will see you next time. Bye.